Welcome to this video on mole conversions. This is part 1, and we're going to focus on moles and pieces today, so going between moles and pieces. And so when we take a look at how to go between moles and pieces, we have to use Avogadro's number, which is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. And we know those pieces can represent atoms, formula units, or molecules. And so to go between these, if we start with pieces, okay, so if we are going from left to right here, so if we're going this direction, we know that we're going to start with pieces on the top. So however many pieces that we're given, and in order to convert from pieces into moles, we want to make sure that in our conversion factor that we have, we put pieces on the bottom, and so that's going to be Avogadro's number, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd pieces, whatever those pieces are, and then on the top per 1 mole. Okay, and that would tell us the number of moles. If we are going in the opposite direction, so if we want to go from moles and we want to go back to pieces, we're going to flip that conversion factor. And so here we're going to have some amount given to us in our question of moles, and we want to go back to pieces. And so in order to cancel moles, we have to put moles on the bottom. So remember, whatever's going to cancel has to be on the bottom for what we were trying to cancel in the previous step. And so 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd pieces will go on the top. And that's going to get you some number of pieces. Okay, so that's just kind of the process, like how do you do this, depending upon which direction you're going. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of examples. We're going to go both directions. So in the first one, we want to know about moles. So how many moles are in 3.5 times 10 to the 24th molecules? Okay, molecules are pieces of carbon dioxide. And so I'm going to start off and we're going to start with our 3.5 times 10 to the 24th molecules. Now it's only one substance that we're working with, so I don't necessarily have to bring that carbon dioxide alongside with this. Some people like to do that. I want to simplify it in this case. Now I have to have pieces on the bottom. Now pieces are Avogadro's number, so 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules, MOQS is my shorthand for molecules, for every 1 mole. Okay, now I double check. I have molecules on the top. This can always be assumed to be over 1 for that first step. You don't have to do that, but you can assume that. So what I do is I go, okay, if it's on the top and the bottom, it cancels when I'm multiplying. So molecules cancel. I'm left with moles, which is what I wanted to know. That was the question. Okay, so I'm in the right direction. Now, to do the math on these, we multiply across the top, we multiply across the bottom. We divide the top by bottom. And so when I did that, I used my EE button. That's how I do that in my TI calculator. I ended up getting 5.8. With proper sig figs, we have 2 significant digits in our original number. Avogadro's number doesn't apply to that because it's a constant or a standard. 5.8 moles is my answer. If you are struggling, double check all the calculations. If you're struggling with any calculations, please let me know. I always like to help with calculator function. Okay, so let's try another example. Oops. How many formula units? Now, formula units are pieces, okay? So these are our pieces. This is what we want to know. Pieces. Oops, I guess maybe I should write that a little bit differently. This is our pieces. Okay, and we start off with moles. So we're going to start off with our 1.3 moles. I have to cancel moles, so moles has to go on the bottom. Whatever comes in the step before, if I want to cancel it, has to go in the bottom. So for every, Let's try that again. 1.3 moles. Sometimes I hit it just wrong with my hand or sleeve. For every 1 mole, we're going to put Avogadro's number on the top, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. Formula units. Okay. Now, multiply across the top, across the bottom, divide top by bottom. I go ahead and cancel my units before then. Moles is on the top and the bottom. I'm multiplying, therefore I can cancel that. I'm left with formula units, which is what I want to know. And I calculated this previously, and I found that I got 7.8 times 10 to the 23rd formula units. I would show you the calculator function. Actually, I can go ahead and show you the calculator function on that one. So let me go ahead and bring this up. So when I go to put these in, so 1.3, and then I'm going to multiply times, and I always like to use that EE button. So if you have that, use it. 6.022, I hit the second button on my calculator. Second, I hit the EE button, which is above the 7 to the 23rd. And I get 7.828. Of course, I wanted to round that to 2 significant digits, times 10 to the 23rd. E to the 23rd is times 10 to the 23rd. So hopefully that's a little bit helpful. Like I said, I'm happy to go over calculator function. Not all calculators have the EE button and work quite the same. I hope that's helpful for you, and we'll look at more of these examples when we get to class.